Okay, the next window we're going to talk about is the timeline window. You'll notice that the timeline occupies in this set of windows the largest window down below. When I go over to the timeline, one thing you'll notice is actually when I bring in my clips, let me choose a clip that's got audio and video. I'm going to drag it down, and you'll see here that when I have a clip that has audio and video, it automatically separates the audio and video. Okay? If you have a clip that has just video, obviously it's not going to bring any audio down at all. So if I click and drag Bloomies down and set it on top like that, you can see no audio is added. But essentially, the timeline in Final Cut Pro separates audio on A1 and A2, 2 tracks of audio for each track of video. 1 track of video here with V1. Okay? Let's look at some of the features of the timeline. One you'll notice right away is that as I move the playhead, it shows me whatever my playhead is on, or the frame my playhead's at with the playhead in the canvas window. That's one nice feature about this in Final Cut Pro, is that again the viewer and canvas window are separate. They're not the same window like they were in iMovie. So anytime I want to see what's in my timeline and how it looks, I just move the playhead to where I want it, and there it is in the canvas. Alright, let's look at some of these buttons to the left of the windows here. Okay, starting first with the green button here. Okay, the green button is actually, as it says over here, it toggles the track visible and on or off. So when I hit that, notice how Rob's dialogue, the picture of Rob, the video of Rob, totally goes away. Okay, so if I ever have video tracks, one layered on top of each other, which is what Final Cut lets you do quite nicely, you'll see that whatever's layered on top is what's visible in my canvas. So in this case, since I'm on top of Rob's dialogue with this clip with Bloomies, it shows me Bloomies. Okay? Whereas if I move my playhead here, I can see now Rob's dialogue. So just like that, I can stack video clips on top of each other. And if I ever wanted to turn them off, the one that was on top, as I showed you, I could just hit that little light and off it goes. Okay? Next to that is something called targeting. This little switch right here, they look kind of like puzzle pieces. If I hold my mouse over it, you can see it says source next to it. What that does when I click on it and move that one around is it targets where clips go when I add them to the timeline. It also tells the timeline whether I want the clip's audio or not. Okay? Targeting we're going to use a little later when we do more advanced editing, so I'm just going to move on from that. But essentially it highlights where tracks are going to go. Watch, for instance, when I delete this and I bring over Bloomies as an insert edit. With that track selected, see how it put the clip on V1? Okay? That's because that track was targeted. Now let me switch the target to V2. I'm going to undo that, Apple Z, and now I'm going to bring in Bloomies again as an insert edit. As an overwrite edit, and let's see where it goes. Notice how now it goes on to track 2. That's what targeting does. It basically tells the clips what tracks you want it to go and which ones you want to include when you're bringing things from the browser into the timeline. Moving right along, next to that are these little locks. Locks do exactly what you would think. They lock the actual tracks. Okay? And once something is locked, you cannot move it. It's great for preserving audio, especially audio that you're worried about moving around. Okay? Next to that is what we call the auto select button. This is for copying from one clip and going on to another. Okay, it's more an advanced feature. We'll look at that a little bit later. Okay, so that's part 1 of the timeline.